Hi Gemini, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you your general monthly tarot reading for the month of June 2021. Thank you so much for joining me. And I do want to take this moment, of course, to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But when meditating on your wonderful energy overall for the month, the message that came through was feeling beyond appreciated. Feeling beyond appreciated. So we're going to keep it simple and pull 6 tarot cards, a simple 6-card spread if you will, to give you a bit of an outlook of what to expect in the upcoming month. So let's do some shuffling for our lovely Geminis for the month of June 2021. What do we have for them? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for Gemini. Right off the bat, I am feeling a little bit all over the place, finding it hard to kind of grasp one thought at a time. Just something to keep in mind. But we have the first half of the spread, and we're going to keep shuffling to continue for our lovely Geminis for the second half of June. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, we have them all perfect. Good energy for the most part. So let's see here. At the bottom of the spread, Page of Swords, there's going to be a highlight, an underlining focus throughout the month on the knowledge you've gained recently and how are you going to utilize it to the best advantage, to your best advantage. Asking yourself important questions in order to implement that knowledge to see your situation improve in the best way possible. But we're beginning the month in the spread with the Ace of Swords. So Gemini, you begin the month of June feeling very headstrong or simply feeling it's hard to gather your thoughts. You might find yourself thinking about multiple things at once. And so I'm going to recommend you meditate or find your own personal way to simplify things mentally. There's a reason why this is happening, and it's going to differ from Gemini to Gemini. It has a lot to do with what you've experienced recently. But it has a lot to do with as well, again, the knowledge you've gained. It all being very important and essential to your situation, but a need for you to focus on one thought at a time in order to move forward in a content and simplistic way. As your mind races and heads in multiple directions, you might find yourself discovering new conclusions about your situation or about yourself in general. For some of you as well, about those you surround yourself with. It's this point in the month where you can't help but think about the need for certain appreciations, or a level of appreciation rather, from those you deal with. It's okay to want and expect that, but to demand it is a whole different level. To allow for yourself once again to simplify your mind as you move forward into the middle of the first half. And we're moving on to the middle of the first half where we have the 8 of Cups. It's the middle of the first half of the month where you find yourself a bit flustered or a bit annoyed with those you are dealing with. It may be a situation, but for a lot of you, it's 1 or 2 people you're dealing with. And a need to walk away in order to keep your cool, to maintain a level of inner peace. For a good amount of you as well, thinking back to a situation you had to leave altogether. It may not have been a choice that you were proud of or content with at the time, but coming to the conclusion that it was necessary at the very least. And even if it doesn't happen right away or at this point in the month, people will begin to appreciate you or respect you for having to do what's right for you. But we're moving on to the end of the first half of the month where we have the King of Pentacles. You begin to wrap up the first half of the month and wow, you're feeling confident. People almost don't expect this from you because your level of confidence has been a little bit up and down recently. But you allow yourself to feel content with all the ups and downs you've experienced and move forward in a direction that's right for you. Allow for the connection to spirit at this point to feel a bit heightened. Allow for your confidence in your situation to continue to grow as you move and continue throughout the month. It's this point in the month where this level of confidence brings a new level of appreciation from those around you, for a lot of you, those who you wouldn't expect it from. Just like you began the first half of the month, you end the first half as well, thinking thoroughly about the experiences, that you've dealt with recently, as well as the knowledge you've gained, allowing for yourself to realize that you can do so in a more simplistic way. Thinking about things and coming to certain conclusions without thoroughly overthinking. Understanding that spirit and the universe is working with you and not against you, and they can help you come to some of these conclusions. And we're making our way to the second half of the month and spread, and we have the Six of Wands. You begin the second half of the month and you feel as if all eyes are on you, feeling like certain conclusions you made recently are leaving you in the spotlight, feeling like a star to a certain extent. It's this attention that you've desired recently that may feel a bit overwhelming at times. Spirit's saying get used to it, because Gemini, you were meant to be a star, or simply you were meant to be successful to the point where people notice you. And being aligned with the Ace of Swords. You can't help but think back to the beginning of the month when you were overwhelmingly thinking and trying to sort through what you've been through. And it's this part of the month where you realize that you didn't need to force certain conclusions or force certain successes or levels of appreciation, that they'll all come to be naturally. And so therefore take that with you as you move towards the successes that you deserve. All right? And we're making our way to the Empress for the middle of the second half of the spread and month. So you make your way to the middle of the second half, and there's something that you're giving birth to. Simply feels like you're giving birth to a whole new world, or maybe a small new project or hobby. Whatever it ends up being for you, you feel really good about it, and it continues to draw in attention and appreciation that you've desired for a while. This freshness that takes over will leave you feeling 10 times better. As you give birth to something new, or simply view something in a new and fresh way, you start to see the instant benefits of just that. And again, people will notice that and feel inspired to do something new and fresh for themselves. And don't question yourself moving forward if you have been recently, given that you are an inspirational light for those around you. Be aligned with the Eight of Cups. It's at this point in the month where you start to realize that certain situations you've had to walk away from recently, even if they didn't feel good in the moment, have left the space, the room for the universe and spirit to help you begin something new or to take on a fresh outlook. If you didn't allow for that space to happen, to take place, how do you expect for spirit and the universe to help you begin something new, right? And that can mean physically walking away and making room, or it could simply mean taking that thought process and allowing for a new one to take place. Whatever it is for you, you will find yourself, feeling really good about the freshness. You make your way to finish up the second half of the month, and we have the Emperor. As you finish up the month, you will find yourself feeling a bit serious, feeling like it has been a bit of an overwhelming month, but a positive one nonetheless. People around you may feel like you are taking these ups and downs when it comes to your mood or your view on your situation, but really what you're doing is simply just being true to who you are. And don't feel guilty or bad about that. Allow for yourself to finish off the month and being one with this serious mood, but not letting it take over to the point where you don't enjoy what you have to accomplish. There's part of you that feels the need to plan for what's ahead, but also allow for things to fall into place as they're meant to. Find a nice balance between the two, okay? And being aligned with the King of Pentacles. You finish off the month as well thinking back to your manifestation skills or what you desire to transpire moving forward. as you can hear in the background, things may feel a bit noisy or a bit chaotic around you as you're trying to stay calm, cool, and collected. And don't let anything of the sort affect you, all right? People will continue to notice you and appreciate you, but for whatever reason, to finish off the month, it won't feel as in your face. It won't feel as obvious. And Spirit and the Universe will remind you that you don't need to, it doesn't need to be that abundant for you to appreciate it or to be one with it. To remember that people can notice you in a subtle and simplistic way, and you can still move forward and produce and succeed in the way you're meant to. All right? So, my lovely Geminis, I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to, as always, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have the most amazing month, and I'll see you next time. Bye.